Welcome to another Christmas video here today that you can practice at home whilst class is on pause for the month. So today we're going to have a bit of focus on some seated and some side lying exercises, but of course we'll go through our warm up, our main body of the class, and then the cool down as well. So we'll get started with our warm up straight away. We'll squeeze the legs together. We'll bring our hand onto our chest, one hand onto our lower ribs, and we'll practice our breathing first. So the legs are squeezing, we're breathing in, we're letting the air fill down into our belly button. We're breathing out, standing up tall. We're letting the bottom hand come in first and then the top. Back to an in breath, we're breathing into that top hand, so it should feel like it rises first, and then the bottom hand. Breathing out, imagine you're blowing out some birthday candles or blowing out through a straw. Same again, breathing in, breathing out. Feel those hands move independently. Last time, standing tall, air coming sideways into the ribs, to the front and back of the body. Breathing out. We'll bring our hands next to our sides, turn our feet into our V shape, and then bring the heels through so our feet are in parallel. We will rise up onto our toes and then lower the heels down, lift the toes away from the floor. So we're rocking forwards and backwards through our feet, making those calf raises as high as is comfortable for you to do for these first few. Bringing awareness to each part of our feet as we rise and lower. We'll start to make those a little bit smaller each time. A little bit less height until we're just rocking forwards and backwards through our feet. We've got weight all the way forwards onto our toes and then all the way back onto our heels. We'll go forwards onto our toes again, back onto our heels. Last time coming forwards onto the toes, and then we'll stop halfway. So we should feel like we're resting on our arches. There's not much pressure on the pads of our toes. We feel equal pressure on right and left, and then we'll keep that position. We'll take one hand on your tummy, one hand on your lower back, and then soften through your knees. And we'll tuck the pelvis under and take it backwards. So we're rocking forwards and backwards, starting to mobilize through the lower back before the rest of our class. Again, we'll start to make that movement a bit smaller each time until you're somewhere in the middle of those two positions. We'll keep that position there. Bring your hands next to your sides. We're straightening through the legs. So we'll keep our position over our arches. We'll keep our position in our pelvis and then bring chin to chest. And then bring your chin across one shoulder over to the other side. And we'll keep alternating from side to side. Just making that movement as big or as small as feels comfortable for you. We'll bring the head back to the center on this next one, looking straight ahead again. And then shrug our shoulders up to our ears, rolling them backwards. We'll reverse that movement, rolling them forwards. We'll bring our hands up onto our shoulders, take our elbows backwards. And then reverse that movement, take our elbows forwards. We'll bring our hands next to our sides, breathe in as we reach up to the ceiling, breathe out as we come down to the sides. Bring your awareness into your feet. Have you got equal pressure on right and left still? Breathing in, coming up, breathing out to the sides. Last time in this direction. And then we'll reverse our circles, breathing in to come up to the sides, breathing out, coming down to the front. Breathing in, reaching up to the sides, hands nice and long, elbows straight. Last two. Last one, breathing in, breathing out. We'll bring your left arm up to shoulder height. We're reaching across, turning your hand over, reaching up to the ceiling. Make the side of your body really long before you slide down the opposite leg. Coming back to the center, we'll do the same thing on your right arm, reaching across, turning your hand over, reaching up to the ceiling and over to the other side. Coming back to the middle, we'll go back to the left arm, reaching across, turning over, up to the ceiling, sliding down the other side. Last time on the second arm, keep the belly button over the center of the body. Reach up, make the body long, and over to the other side. Coming back to the center, we will cross the arms over, let one rest on top of the other. Take a breath in and twist over to your right. Take a breath in again, twisting over to the left. Breath in, twisting to the right. Last time, breathing in, breathing out to come back to the center. So we'll stay in standing to start to warm up with our legs as well. So depending on your preference, we can either do a standard lunge where we have one leg forwards, one leg back, and we lower down towards the floor. Or if you prefer to try something new today, we'll work into a curtsy lunge. So we have one leg crossed over behind the other. Our weight is on the front leg and we're lifting our heel on the back leg. So from here, we're going to lower down into our lunge and then press through the leg to come back up to standing. It's exactly the same if you're in our standard lunge. We're lowering down towards the floor, pressing through the front leg to come back up. So choose whichever version feels better for you. We'll breathe in as we come down, breathe out as we come up. Keeping a balance, keep our awareness onto our feet. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep going there. We've got two more on this side. Last one. We'll step that leg forwards, bring the legs next to each other, and then cross them over the other way. So leg crossing behind if you're choosing the curtsy lunge, or leg parallel if you're choosing the standard lunge. We're lowering down, breathing in, breathing out. We want to keep the chest nice and tall. We won't bend forwards too much as we come down, pushing through that front leg to get us back to standing. Nice long exhale on the way back up. Last two, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. We'll step the legs back to the center, bring them into parallel. We'll reach the arms up to the ceiling, take a look up at them, and then we'll fold forward, sweep the arms next to you. Breathing in, reach up to the ceiling, breathing out, fold forward, sweep the arms past. We'll do two more. Last one. And then we'll bring them up and back to our hips. So we'll go back to our first orientation, depending which leg you had forwards first. This time, we're going to hold that lunge position at the bottom. So find your setup, find your balance first. We'll lower down. And then we're going to add those arm sweeps. So we're reaching up to the ceiling, sweeping them down, reaching up, sweeping down. Last one, reaching up, sweeping down. We'll bring the hands back onto the hips, coming out of our lunge, stepping forwards and swapping over. So again, find your balance first, and then we're coming into our lunge, holding that position, adding our arm sweep, sweeping up to the ceiling, coming down. Breathe out as we come up, in as we come down. Last one, breathing out, breathing in, hands next to our sides, pushing back up. Feet are back into parallel. We'll go through our roll down and take a rest here. So we'll breathe in to get ready, and then breathe out to bring chin to chest. Nose reaching towards our belly button, hands sliding down towards the floor. As far as feels comfortable for you to go. Take a breath in at the bottom and then breathe out to slowly roll back up to standing. Lower back first, then the mid back, then the upper back. And your head is the last thing to come back up at the top. Same thing again, breathing in. And then breathing out, bring chin to chest. Nose reaching towards your belly button. Curling with the upper back. Then the mid back. Then the lower back, hands sliding forwards. Taking a breath in at the end. Breathing out to come back up to standing, reversing that movement, imagining each part of the spine moving on its own. Looking forwards. And this is our last one. See if we can slow that movement down a little bit more. Think about the movement of the spine happening independently. We're breathing in to get ready, and then we're breathing out to bring chin to chest. Nose reaching towards the belly button. Hands sliding down towards the floor. Taking a breath in at the end. Breathing out to roll back up. Slowing down through the top segments of the spine and coming back up. When you're ready, we'll come to lie on your side first of all. So take a moment to grab an extra pillow or an extra layer underneath you if you need it. So we've got our feet together, our knees together, our head resting down on top of our arm. We'll take a second to find our start position. So we want to imagine this top hip is being pulled away from you. So you make this imaginary space under your side. We'll bring the hand onto the floor in front or onto the mat in front of you. And we'll start to open into our clam. So clam at level 1, feet stay together. We want to keep both hips facing forwards. Breathing out as we lift, in as we lower. What we want to avoid is any rocking or rolling with the spine. So the movement might be a bit smaller when we keep it isolated to the hips, but we know that we are working our target muscles, our glutes effectively. Last time, breathing out to lift, in to lower. This time we're going to bring the whole leg up so that it's floating. So we've got knee and foot separated. We're going to bring the knee in towards the chest, and then we're going to push the foot away, so straighten the leg. We'll keep the foot slightly flexed, bring the knee into the chest, push the foot away, extend the leg. Breathing in as we come forwards, breathing out as we push away. Keep going there, breathing in, keep the shin parallel to the floor, breathing out, push away. Breathing in, breathing out, and the last one there, and then we'll take a good break. Knee to chest, heel pushing away. Let the leg rest down. We'll bring the hands out from underneath us, and we'll draw our overhead circle. So we're sweeping that arm up, opening the chest towards the ceiling. This time we do want to twist round through the spine. Bring the hand back on top of the other leg. Bring it over and above for the next circle. Open the chest to the side. Bring the hand over on top. Last one. Make that circle as big as feels comfortable for you to do. Bring the hands back together. We'll bring the bottom arm underneath our side, underneath our head. We're bringing the legs so that they are out straight. And then we'll bring the top leg over in front. From here, we're lifting the inside edge of the bottom leg up to the ceiling. Again, we're breathing out to lift and in to lower. Breathing out to lift, in to lower. See if we can squeeze the inside edge of that foot as high to the ceiling as possible. Last two. Last one. Breathing out, breathing in. We'll bring the feet and knees back together. We're going to come up onto our elbow and we will take a stretch here. So we're lifting our ribs up away from the bench. We're bringing the arm through the gap. And then we're opening that arm up to the ceiling, turning the chest through to the ceiling. Breathing in as we sweep underneath us. Breathing out as we come up to the side. Last one, breathing in, sweeping underneath us. Breathing out, reach up to the ceiling, open the chest. We're bringing that top arm onto our hip. We have two options here. So we're working into our level one of our side plank. So we can bring our hips through towards the ceiling whilst resting on our elbow, or we can practice the same thing but on hand. We're lifting the hips up to the ceiling and then lowering down. So choose whichever version, either elbow or hand, feels better for you. We're squeezing that bottom hip up. So we want to form that nice lifted position through our side. Then lowering, breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. You might have to adjust if you've got a slippy mat like I do. Last two. Last one, breathing out to lift and into lower. We'll push off of our side there and we'll bring one foot towards our front, one foot round towards the back. We'll try and sit through the center of our pelvis there, and then we'll reach one arm over the gap towards our shins. If this isn't comfortable, then you can do the same position with your arm, but with your legs crossed. Coming back to the center, we'll take the hand onto either the shins and twist round, or if you have your legs crossed, holding onto one knee and twisting round. So we'll imagine this shoulder turning as far through as comfortable. We're coming back to the center, and then when you're ready, turning onto your other side. So you might want to come to the opposite end of your mat so that you can still see the screen. So starting with our feet together, our knees together, head resting down onto our arm, other hand on the floor there for support. We'll imagine our top hip is being pulled away from us, so we create that imaginary space under our side. And we'll start again with our clams at level one. So we're breathing out as we lift up, breathing in as we lower. Remembering not to rock or roll as we open with the pelvis. The pelvis should stay square and forwards. Shoulders should stay square and forwards. We're breathing out as we lift the leg, breathing in as we lower. Last two. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. We've got the legs together with this time lifting the whole top leg. So the bottom knee stays bent. We're squeezing that knee in towards our chest. And then as we take the leg away, we're extending the leg, push the heel away. Breathing in as we bring the leg forwards. Breathing out as we push the leg away. We're trying to keep ourselves nice and balanced through the upper body. Breathing in, coming forwards. Breathing out, pushing away. We can add our changing positions of the foot. So we can point the foot as the leg comes forwards, flex the foot as we push the leg away. We're keeping our shin parallel to the floor, keeping the knee nice and high, don't let it drop down. We've got two more, and then we'll take a stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. Last one, breathing in, breathing out. Dropping the leg down, we'll take a rest there. Bringing the arms out in front of you, head resting down, we're drawing our big circles overhead. We're showing the chest to the ceiling, opening wide. Bring that arm through, over and on top of the other leg. Past the bottom hand again, going for our next circle. Opening that circle wide, shoulders twisting round. Hand joining the opposite hand. This is our last circle stretch here. Make that circle as big or as small as feels right for you. We're turning back onto our side. We're bringing that bottom arm underneath the ear again. This time we're taking the legs straight. And we're bringing the top leg over in front of the bottom leg. We're lifting that inside edge of the foot up to the ceiling. Breathing out as we lift, in as we lower. We're trying to keep the rest of the body completely still, so we're not trying to compensate. The temptation is to start to lift through the side to help the leg get higher, but we're trying to stay relaxed down. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. Lifting as high or as low as feels best for you. Last two. Remembering our breathing, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. When we finish that last one, we'll bring the legs back together, bending the knees again, feet resting on top of each other. We're coming up onto your elbow. We're making that lift through our side, reaching the arm through the gap, and then reaching up to the ceiling. Breathing in as we reach under, breathing out as you reach up. Last one, breathing in, reaching under, breathing out, reaching up. We're bringing that top hand onto our hip, and again we have our two options, either our side or half side plank on the elbow, or if you want to come up onto the hand, then that's another option. With both options, we want to stay lifted through our side. We're squeezing the bottom to come up into our half side plank, then lowering. So choosing whichever version feels best, either elbow or hand. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. If you're looking for the more challenging version, that will be on your elbow. Breathing out to lift, in to lower. I'm going to finish on the elbow. Breathing out to lift, in to lower. Keeping the chest square forwards, ribs lifted away from the floor. We've got two more. Breathing out, breathing in, and last one. When you're ready, we'll push off of that side. Coming to seated, we'll bring one foot in front of the other, one foot behind. And again, we'll try and stay seated in the middle of our pelvis there, reaching the arm over towards the legs. Again, you do have the option to do this seated, cross legs or straight legs, if that's a good option for you. We'll come up seated again, this time reaching round towards the leg. We're twisting across, pulling on our legs slightly. Again, we have the option to do this in a cross leg position if that's more comfortable, and pulling on the knee. We're coming back to the center and we're going to stay seated, but turn lengthwise onto your mat. So we'll bring the feet in towards us. We're going to keep them bent with feet flat onto the floor. Keep the knees bent with feet flat onto the floor. We're curving backwards to make our C shape, so the letter C. And then we're sitting up tall, showing our chest to the ceiling. Curving back, making our C shape as rounded as you can without starting to roll backwards. So we're still holding on to our legs here. Sitting up tall, chest towards the ceiling. 2 more, rounding into our C shape. Lifting through the chest. Last one, rounding in C shape. Lifting with the chest. Coming back to the center, we're going to bring the legs out straight this time. Bring our hands up to shoulder height. This time, as we create our C shape, we're going to start to roll backwards. So this is our roll up exercise. We're breathing out as we roll back, breathing in as we come back to seated. Breathing out, rolling back. Breathing in, coming up to seated. Keep going there. So still keep an eye on making that spine as round as you can, especially in the lower back. Breathing in, coming back up. We've got 2 more. Breathing out, rounding back. Breathing in, coming back up. Last one. Breathing out, rounding through the spine. Breathing in, coming back up. We'll hug the knees into our chest. And this time we're going to work on our balance. So we are rolling back slightly, but we're just lifting the toes ever so slightly. So we're seeing if we can hold this position here and practice our breathing while we're here. So we're breathing in, still breathing into our chest, then our belly button. Breathing out, let the belly button come in first, then the chest. Same thing, breathing in to the chest, then the belly button. Breathing out, relaxing through the belly button first, then the chest. We'll bring the feet back down. We'll slide them away, take a reach down towards the straight legs, however much feels comfortable. We should feel a stretch through the back of the legs, maybe in the lower back as well. And then we'll bring the legs back in towards us. This time we're lifting our arms up. Again, we're starting in our straight spine position, and then we're rolling back from here. So the knees stay bent, the feet stay onto the floor. We're breathing in as we come back up. Breathing out, rolling back. Breathing in, coming back up, straight spine at the top. Keep going there, breathing out, rolling back. Breathing in, Straight spine at the top. We want to keep rounded as we roll back forwards. So focus on leading with the upper back first, then the lower back. Last one. Sitting up tall again at the top, hold on to the legs. We're bringing the legs back in towards our bottom for our balance exercise. So we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest a little bit more this time. Make sure you've got that good clearance underneath the feet. This time, we're going to see if we can hold on behind the legs. From here, we're still hugging them in towards us. We're going to see if we can bring them into our tabletop position. We'll bring one down, then the other, swapping over one leg, then the other, reversing. So we're working on our balance, but we're still hugging the knees in towards our chest. Keep alternating which one you rise with first. Last set. Okay. As our final exercise in this position, we're still hugging them in. We're going to bring both the legs into that tabletop position and then see if we can start to relax the pressure that we're putting in with the legs, maybe just light pressure or holding that position with no hands. We'll take 2 breaths, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Hug the legs back in and then roll them straight. Reach forwards again. We'll transition into lying on our backs in a supine position. So if you want to, you can come down one elbow, then the other. Or if you want to try a more traditional transition, we'll roll the hands back along the legs, making our C shape, rolling back chin to chest all the way and relax down onto your mat. So we'll bring the feet in, bring feet together, and then we'll take the knees over to one side. Take your head to look in the opposite direction. Bring the feet back to the center, crossing over to the other side. Back to the middle, over to our first side again, turning the head in the opposite direction. Legs back to the center. Our final one here, over to the other side. Head looking away. Legs coming back to the middle. Taking a second to feel relaxed through onto the mat. So the back of our hips should feel heavy, our ribs should feel heavy on the mat, our shoulders should relax down too. We'll take our toes apart and then bring our heels through so our feet are in parallel. And we'll finish off this class today with our bridge series. So we'll start to tuck the bottom under and peel up into our bridge, pushing through the heels, lifting the bottom high, and then we will re-stick the spine back down to the mat, relax the bottom at the end. Same thing again, we're breathing out as we lift up, breathing in as we lower down. Same again, breathing out, lifting up, breathing in, lowering down. Keep going there, we're pushing through our feet, we're squeezing the bottom at the top. And we have another layer to add on if you want to give it a go. So as we get to the top of our bridge, we will lift one heel, then the other, and then return back to the mat. So that's one option, peeling up, Keep the toes on the floor, lift the heel. Opposite foot, toes on the floor, lift the heel. Heels are back onto the mat, and then we're coming back down towards our bridge, towards the mat from our bridge. The other option is to do the same, but not let your bottom touch the mat in between each one. So you do the heel lifts, you come halfway down. You come back to the top of the bridge, heel lifts again, one side, then the other, halfway down. Back to the top of the bridge, heel lifts one, then the other. So those are your two options, choosing to either relax onto the mat in between each bridge or to go halfway up, halfway down to build endurance as well. Keep going there, breathing out as you lift up, breathing in as you lower. We've got two more. Adjust your feet if you need to. And last one. Re-sticking the spine down. We'll bring your knees in towards your chest, giving them a hug. You can try rocking from side to side or opening the knees slightly, whichever helps you feel the best stretch. We'll come up into seated from that position when you're ready. And we will finish off with some stretches. So we'll come into kneeling for our cool down. We've got hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're going through our cat-cow, so we're arching the back up to the ceiling, looking through to our knees. And then head facing forwards, letting the belly button drop down towards the floor, arching in the opposite direction. Back to our first position, arching up, looking through our knees. Then our second position, looking forwards, belly button dropping down. Keep alternating between those two. On this last one, we'll breathe in as you push through the hands to round the back. Breathe out as you look forwards. We'll come into the middle of those two positions. So if you had that tray of drinks on your back, they would stay nice and level. We'll bring the hand through the gap, reach under. We'll breathe in, coming back to the center. Breathe out through to the other side. Again, breathing in, coming back to the center. Breathing out to the other side. Last time, breathing in, breathing out. We'll come back to the middle, bring one foot to the top of your mat. We'll stretch forwards, lunging towards that front leg, either staying up upright or bringing our hands down onto the mat, whichever helps you feel that stretch more. Remembering to breathe while we're in these stretches. We will push back, bring that front leg out straight. Again, we can either stay upright in this position or we can bring our hands down onto the mat on either side. We'll bring that leg back in towards us and we will swap the legs over. So the other leg coming to the top of the mat. We're lunging forwards to stretch our hip flexors. So either staying upright or bringing the hands down onto the mat. Remembering again to keep breathing here. We're taking our leg back. We're straightening that front leg. Again, we can either stay upright and pull our toes up towards us, or we can bring our hands down onto the mat on either side of our leg. We're bringing that leg back to the middle. And when you're ready, we'll come up to standing. So from there, we've got our feet in our parallel position. We're standing up tall again. We'll bring one ear down to our shoulder and then use the hand on that side to make it stronger if that feels comfortable. Coming back to the center, ear down to the shoulder on the other side. Again, using that hand to make it stronger if it's comfortable. Coming back to the center, bring the hand down. We'll bring our chin to our chest and just roll it from one shoulder across to the other side. And keep alternating from side to side. One more time in each direction. And then coming back to the center, we'll bring our hands down in front of us, lace the fingers together. We'll breathe in as we pull the hands up. Breathe out, push them down to the floor. Breathe in, reaching up to the ceiling. Breathing out, round to the sides. Same again, hands laced together, breathing in, pulling up. Breathing out, down to the floor. Breathing in, reaching up to the ceiling. Breathing out, round to the sides. And we will finish our class there for today. Well done for doing another one of our Christmas classes.